Hello, and welcome to this special episode of The Franklin Effect, entitled Bigfoot. So I go on Facebook and say there's no Bigfoot, but then I start catching a bunch of flack.
Grumble, grumble.
How can you say there's no Bigfoot? No one's ever proven that.
Rumble.
So the answer to the first part of that question is what I'm going to talk about here. The second part, that nobody's ever disproven Bigfoot, is a true statement.
He just said Bigfoot.
Because the thing is, you cannot prove the non-existence of things that don't exist. There is no aliens. There is no Loch Ness Monster. I remember one time I got into a discussion with a friend about aliens, and I said, there's no aliens that are visiting Earth. Then oh look, kids, here he is now. Hi, Moby Mutt.
Hi there.
So what did you ask when I said aliens have not visited Earth?
I said, don't you think that in this massive universe that there's life on other planets?
To which I said, yes, I do believe there's probably life on other planets somewhere in this massive universe.
He just
do I believe
admitted
they've ever
there's
visited
aliens.
Earth? No. Mopey, let me drop some science on you.
Oh, goodness.
The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Of that 4.5 billion years, humans have been on this planet for about 120,000 years. So for the entire lifespan of the Earth, humans have been on it for about 0.03% of that time. In other words, very, very, very little time. So if there may be other planets out there in the universe that have life on them, we don't know where they are, and we don't know how far away they are, but we can see stars that are 5 billion light years away. So we can't detect any nearby planets that have life on them. None that are within 5 billion light years. Now, what are the chances that while we are here on the 0.003% of the existence of this planet, that other planets are in the exact same timeline? In other words, Earth has been around a long, 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 long time, where there were no humans and very little time when there were humans. That other planet, even if it would support life, would it support intelligent life at the exact same time that our planet supports intelligent life? And how far away would it be? 10 billion light years away? So we have to envision some form of transport that can travel 10 billion light years, then also fly in our atmosphere, and then have the fuel or energy to do so. This is utterly impossible. So when I say we've never been visited by aliens, that's my logic. But there's other absence of proof of aliens. There is no picture of an alien that we've ever seen on Earth. There is no discovered corpse of an alien that's ever been on Earth. There's no footprint of aliens that have ever been on Earth. I've never seen an alien. And I would think if aliens were going to abduct somebody on this planet, it would be me. Note, that's just a joke. But of the Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster aliens triumvirate, I think aliens are the most likely to actually exist. But we just haven't seen them, and they have never been on our planet. Now, Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster kind of come under the same category of bull poopery. First of all, when we undertake a scientific investigation into a thing to see if it exists, the thing that must first happen is that we have to have a reason to believe it exists. Did we find a footprint? Did we find a skeleton? Did we find a fossil? Did one walk into my house, sit down, and have dinner with me? Did anybody photograph this being? So the answers to all these questions for Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster are no. And certainly nobody has ever disproven them. But I've seen shows where actually they are looking for these monsters and they never find them. And the convenient explanation is because they're very elusive and they outsmart us. Awesome. Ascribing characteristics to something that doesn't exist, that's not a very scientific thing. But basically, just know this. You cannot prove the non-existence of things that don't exist. Tigers exist. I've seen tigers with my own eyes. I've seen pictures of tigers. I've heard people describe tigers. And if I wanted to convince myself that there's tigers, I could go find one and look at it and confirm my suspicion that there are tigers. Cannot do that with Bigfoot, and you cannot do that with the Loch Ness Monster, and you cannot do that with aliens. Albeit in the theoretical sense, aliens should exist. But there's no theoretical sense in which Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster should exist. Any statement to the contrary is quasi-scientific, but it makes for great entertainment. But you cannot prove the non-existence of things that don't exist. They cannot be subjected to scientific scrutiny. I cannot develop a hypothesis and a null hypothesis about Bigfoot because no one's disproved that Bigfoot exists, and disproval of Bigfoot's existence would prove the null hypothesis, which would be that Bigfoot doesn't exist. But you can't prove the non-existence of things that don't exist. As always, you can choose to believe in them. Polls suggest that about 50% of Americans believe in Bigfoot. In the same poll, 40% believe in aliens. So you see, if you want to believe in these things, you're in good company. And that's the greatest gift of all. Anyway, students, I hope I didn't piss anybody off too much. These are things that hopefully you can think about. And also, if you like this show, please hit the subscribe button and give me your comments,
I don't like how he said
thumbs
there's no
ups,
Bigfoot.
thumbs downs, whatever. Thank you.